Hey there, I am back with another deck review, and today I'm going to be looking at the first deck in the City Skylines series from CollectablePlayingCards.com. These are the New York playing cards. Now, like I said, this is the first deck in a series from Collectible Playing Cards, and it's meant to look at famous city skylines in the US. So what better place to start than the Big Apple, New York City, one of the most iconic skylines in the US. So let's jump into it, find out how they did. Now, starting with the tuck, it's kind of a cream or off-white colored tuck case, regular kind of glossy, maybe slightly matte finish, but it's covered with this really beautifully embossed and foiled, primarily green design with bits of gold foil all throughout. Now, it says bicycle at the top, so it's going to be a bicycle branded deck. It has City Skylines and New York playing cards at the bottom in that gold foil. And then the background features the city skyline of New York, including highlighting 4 of the most prominent buildings in the skyline, from 30 Rock and Rockefeller Center. You've got the Freedom Tower at One World Trade Center, Empire State Building, and of course the Rockefeller Building. So 4 of the more famous buildings there. Really beautifully done with the embossing, and then you've got this nice green and gold border going all the way around with extra little details. Love how the embossing was done. I love the color scheme on this one, and really just a great Art Deco vibe to the whole thing. As you turn to the sides, I've got air cushion finish written on one side, complete with a background of subway tiles. Another nice little touch there. And then on the other side, it says New York. Bottom has your ad copy for USPCC and collectible playing cards. I'll also mention that these were designed by Johnny Wham. And then on the top, it says New York with more subway tiles. The back's going to be a foiled version of the back of the cards, and we'll look more at the details of that in a second, but you can see some of that glinting foil. And you have a shiny gold postage stamp style tuck seal. Features kind of an abstract city skyline at the top, and then is individually numbered as a limited edition, first edition. Mine's number 167 out of 1,000. Inner flap has some ad copy for bicycle in green, and nothing at all printed on the inside of the tuck. So that is this really, really nice tuck case. Like I said, love the Art Deco style that was done in this one, in the kind of 50s vibe. Very fitting for New York, in my opinion. But let's get into the cards, and we'll start with the back design. Here it is. So a lot like what we're looking at on the back of the tuck, obviously not foiled this time, done more in kind of copper or gold colored inks. Most prominently features the Statue of Liberty reflected in the center in a 2-way back design. And you've got lots of little flourishes and scroll work spiraling out in green. This entire design was hand drawn, so you can really see kind of the artistry in there. And if I zoom in nice and close, you can see just the level of detail and some of that work in there. I have a series of borders that are kind of reminiscent of currency, kind of going with the theme and the color scheme here. Very currency inspired design, but finishes out with a large green border and then the thin white or off-white poker border. The background here is not a true white, but it's kind of that cream or almond color. And then down the sides, we've got New York 1625. Fun fact, 1625 is the date that is on the New York seal as the founding of New York, but most historians actually agree that it was probably founded in 1624, not 1625. So weird fact about the New York seal. It was only changed to 1625 for some reason in 1977. So not sure exactly why it was changed, but historians to this day agree it was actually founded in 1624. So that's the back design of the cards, really nice. And let's take a look at the extra cards. So here are the 2 jokers you get, one black and one red. They both feature kind of a fun 50s style drawing of a classically dressed jester, but he's doing something a little bit New York in each of these. You've got him hailing a taxi in one of them, and then another one with him juggling cards in front of one of New York's famous bridges. Not sure if that's the Manhattan Bridge or the Brooklyn Bridge. Not sure which one it is. Maybe New Yorkite will be able to identify that a little bit better than I will. But there are your 2 jokers. And then you also get an ad card for collectible playing cards and a gaff card in a double backer. Now getting into the rest of the deck. And start with the Ace of Spades, and here it is. Features a large spade pip, very prominent Statue of Liberty in the center, New York written on the base, and then you've got this sort of gray or black spade pip rising out of the back, complete with green scroll work finishing it out. And a really cool design there, and you can see some of that black background as well. I have a custom pip and index in the corner, very large index and kind of a smaller squat pip. As we go to the number cards, you can see a little bit more of that kind of short and fat spade pip there. So slightly custom spade pip, but they're all done in a pretty standard arrangement as you go through the number cards. And then here are your quartz. Now, they started their life as classic bicycle quartz, but they've obviously been really heavily recolored in lots of shades of olive and brighter greens, as well as some hits of gold in there as well. So really nicely recolored, added on a very elaborate border that's kind of fitting with the overall theme. And you can see those kind of crosses or hatches in there. And then it finishes with New York written small in the corner. But otherwise, pretty classic and easily recognizable core cards. All four of the aces are going to feature a large and kind of textured pip in the center. So there's the diamond. And then you can see the bright reds on those number cards for the rest of the diamonds. Here's the red quartz, much like we were looking at with the black ones. And then into the clubs. Down through the club number cards. Kind of an interesting shape to the club pip there with that smaller leaf at the top. Finishing the clubs with the ace of clubs, and then into the hearts. So there's your 3 heart quartz, down through the heart number cards, and finishing, of course, with the ace of hearts. So that's the deck. As far as handling, it's a bicycle USBCC deck. They're going to handle beautifully. You guys have felt a bicycle deck before. They always handle really nicely. These are no exception. Fans, cuts, all that are going to just be incredibly smooth. So can't complain about that whatsoever. As far as using it for the deck, I think it's a great collector's deck. This is one of those that just looks great on a shelf. But it's also a really functional deck, one you could use for Magic or gameplay without an issue. And of course, the handling is good enough for anything you want to do with cardistry. But I think personally, just out for a good game night, this would be a great deck to have. So that's it. That is the look at the Bicycle New York deck. This is the first deck in the City Skyline series. I will be taking a look at some of the other ones in a future video, so stay tuned for that. And make sure you subscribe for other deck reviews and unboxings. Let me know what else you want to see. I'll be on the lookout for that. All right, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.